everyone, and thank you for joining us today for our Moving to a New ERP Doesn't Have to Be Scary webinar.
All right, let's dive right on in. So is your current system acting like a monster? And so here's a few of the things to keep an eye out for. First is around limited functionality. So if you find yourself often doing workarounds, either in the system or you're doing things outside the system, maybe you're using Excel, is your team spending way too much time doing what we call admin tasks, where they're effectively rekeying things? Or maybe at month end, you're manually taking things from Excel and now putting them into your system. Next is in the area of scalability. You try to do some type of system change, or you have some type of promotion or any type of event in your business. It's kind of a big company-wide panic because your current systems aren't really set up to handle changes. Do you have different parts of your company running on different systems? That's a tough thing to scale. And then the worst one of all, you don't want your system holding you back because you have a great idea, but your system can't do it. So all of those are signs that your system just can't scale as your company grows and these things start to happen. Around limited flexibility, if you've got a system that says this is the one way you can do things and this is it, that's a sign that you may need to look at something else, right? Certainly there's best practices and you want your system to align with that, but your system has to be able to handle the nuances of your business. Otherwise, it's now your system driving your business instead of the other way around. Do you need to get IT involved anytime you want to do any type of changes or updates? And then this third bullet is your system just an on-prem system and you have to be on site to access it. In kind of this new world of a lot more remote employees being able to access reports and seeing what's going on and do their jobs remotely is more important than ever. And then lastly, around support. Are you running into limited support on your current system? Quite frankly, are you still able to get support from your vendor, or is your vendor no longer supporting the solution you're on? Or maybe it's a system that you've customized quite a bit and you've got one or two people internally that know how to support those customizations. They leave the company and now you're really at risk. And then lastly, the whole version lock thing. You're on a version, it was a legacy system where customizations were customizing the actual code, and now you're stuck on that. If a number of these resonate with you and you say, yeah, that's our situation, maybe it's time to look at moving to a new ERP. So let's talk about one of those potential new ERPs. It's built from the ground up for the cloud, and that's an important thing. A lot of ERP solutions now say that they are quote unquote cloud-based, but really what they are is a legacy on-premise solution that was just being hosted somewhere. NetSuite is being used worldwide, 32,000 different organizations, still the fastest growing ERP out there. It's got the global support of Oracle, the nice investment behind that with ongoing adding new features and support. The fact that it's a suite right in its name, it's really nice. You don't have to buy the whole thing today. It's a subscription. You sign up for certain features. As your company grows and needs additional functionality, you can add those features as you need it. So we like to say NetSuite grows with your company. So let's talk about some of the nice things around NetSuite. I mentioned this truly cloud-based. You do your job from anywhere, get access to things. Since it is built from the ground up in the cloud, we can do all these things like personalizations. We can make changes to the system, adding, say, custom fields or workflows and all that. We're doing all that without modifying the underlying code. It's all in the cloud application presentation side of things. So what that means is any of those adjustments that we're making do not put us in a version lock. So now they can go ahead and push out these releases twice per year, and you don't have to redo all the things that you did to personalize your system. So we talk about easy personalization. It's because we are not modifying code. We're just modifying that presentation layer. You stay on the current version, continue to personalize it, and away you go. And then last, I do want to mention this 360-degree visibility. You can run your entire company on NetSuite, and you can have one system across your entire company, so everybody's seeing the same thing. NetSuite is a very open system, easy to integrate. So even though you might have that separate system, you can pass data back and forth. So that's just a sample of some of what we call NetSuite's many treats. All right, so let's show you a little bit how NetSuite works. So first of all, we said it was cloud-based. You go out to netsuite.com and you log in. You are getting the same back-end infrastructure as multi-billion-dollar global public companies. So absolutely you're secure. When you log in with a role. Whatever that role is will determine what you can do inside of NetSuite. Next, I want to talk about the dashboard a little bit. This dashboard can be personalized by roles or personalized all the way down to the individual. You can show whatever you want on this dashboard. So we put a little calendar widget showing all the bills that are due. I've got some financial ratios up here so I can get a real-time view into how we're doing on our various ratios. I've got past due invoices with notes. I can edit those collection notes right in line. I've got a whole reminders section so I can set up any reminders. Look at those as alerts. If I've got, invoices that need to be approved, I can go ahead and open those and approve those invoices. Since this is cloud-based, I can go ahead and say right click and open in a new tab or open in a new window, and I don't lose my place here. So I'm still on this page. I can open a second window and do anything that I want to do within that window. And then lastly, I want to mention this global search area. I can search for anything I want up here and it'll find it. So I can type in John, for example, and it will go out and find all this type of stuff, right? One other thing I will just mention, we talk about personalizing, and I'll just show you one of the simple ways you can personalize is by renaming things. Maybe rather than calling your vendors, you call them suppliers. And now throughout the system, wherever it used to be called vendor or vendors, it's now updated to suppliers. Let's switch over a little bit. Now, within NetSuite, that's one of the big things is that multi-subsidiary is all built in. And so you can set up all your subsidiaries in one login, in one database. And you can do your transactions for each of your subsidiaries, intercompany transactions, so they're all linked together. As a result of that, you can go ahead and run your financials at a consolidated level. NetSuite will take care of that, even if they're in different currencies. I can run it, you can see, at any level. I can run it up at the parent, which I did, or I can run it for any of my individual subsidiaries. I'll run it by, say, accounting period. Now you can start to do dimensions. Maybe you want to run it by department. You want to see, departments broke out, especially on the cost side. You can see all those broke out. So I can start from my summary financial report, in this case, income statement, drill into the details of any cell, and then once I get that cell, drill all the way back to the transaction. All right, let's actually show you a little bit in action really quick. One of the first things we like to help companies is to get rid of their manual Excel amortization schedules. So here I am, I've got a vendor, it's a bill for $1,200. So right on my vendor bill, we're going to put it in prepaid expense, and we're going to head and start it today, and we're going to have this go ahead and run through next year. Once that saves, we'll take a look at our bill. Our GL impact is went into our AP account, but the other side we said put it into prepaid expenses. But then we said we want to amortize this over a year. So we've created an amortization schedule. Each month when we run this, it will hit rent expense. Now, one other example I want to give you is, let's say that when you get bills in, you need to be able to allocate them out. I'm going to show you a little feature on one of our NetSuite extensions that we built out. I'm going to show you an intercompany bill and how we can allocate it out. So in this case, we said there's a bill that we get in that we often want to split between subsidiaries. So now when I get my bill, I'm now going to say, you know what, I want to allocate this using this allocation that I have, and we'll stick with our rent. Why not? But I'm going to say this bill is for $1,000. And I say, go ahead and set that up for me. And based on that allocation we set up, we'll insert the lines for you automatically. That's what I wanted to show you around just some of the quick overview of NetSuite, give you a little taste for what it can do. Let's talk a little bit about how KES can help you if you want to make this journey. You saw, at the opening, I touched on our solutions for today, Partners for Life. It really is, we think, what differentiates us from most partners. We look at getting you live as a great first step, but we want to be with you every step of the way after that and help your company continue to grow take more advantage of NetSuite all the time. That deployment process, it is an 8-step process that we've got down to a science. My consultants like to point out, they're NetSuite experts, but they're also process experts. So we don't look at this as just let's kind of pick you up from your current system and let's bring you on to NetSuite. We look at this as saying, how can we help your business improve their processes? Let's make sure those are addressed in the new system. I do want to mention our customer care. It is part of that long-term relationship. So after we get you live, typically our customers then roll on to customer care. It's just a great way to continue that long-term relationship. We also make sure that even though we have a support team to handle kind of your ongoing stuff, we do keep that original implementation consultant on your account. It's part of that ongoing partnership, making this really easy to work together. All right, that's what I wanted to show you today. I wanted to, give you kind of some things to think about with your current system, give you a little overview of how NetSuite might be able to help you out and how KDS can help you get from there to here.
Thank you, Glenn, and thank you all for joining us today. Please reach out if you have any remaining questions. We look forward to seeing you all at our next webinar.